Well, hey guys, how are you? It's Summer with Summer Sweet Shop with you again for some fun ideas of cookies you can make for the Super Bowl coming up, any kind of tailgating, gathering. I mean, you name it, you can use this idea for lots of get-togethers and even just to have like some friends over. We are going to be making a charcuterie board today with our sugar cookies. I am using my sugar cookie recipe and my exclusive royal icing recipe that are both found inside my beginners online course, which is my Cookie Academy. You can find out more about that on my website, but just check the description below to learn more about that. All right, we're going to start off today. I'm going to talk about the cookie cutters first that I am using to make all of these different shapes. And so with the cheese wedge here, we'll just start with the big one. I used a round cookie cutter. I don't think it was this one because that one's a little bit bigger, but I used a round cookie cutter, and then I used this little gadget here to cutter, but it's from Sweet Sugarbelle, but I just did my round cookie and then just did my L-shaped here to create the wedge and just baked it just like that. The olive is a Sweet Sugarbelle Easter egg, and the squares, both of the squares are used with this nesting square. It came with a bunch of different, came with like maybe 3 or 4 different size squares, and this is the one that I like the best. So I highly recommend the nesting sets for squares and circles because you can get a lot of use out of them. The crinkled scalloped edge is what I used for the cracker, the scalloped edged round. And then I used just like a round one. This one is actually a biscuit cutter. It came in like 3 different sizes. It's also a nesting, but it is fantastic and great and just the right size for your little pepperonis. And then last but not least is the strawberry, and this is from Kaleidacuts. It's a 3D printed cookie cutter that is the strawberry. So with that, so now you know how you can get these shapes. Let's go ahead and decorate these fun cookies. So I'm going to set this to the side here. But we're going to first start out with we'll do our cheese. And you know what we might be able to do? Just go on down the line with or we'll do our 2 cheeses here, and then we'll do our cracker. They're pretty easy to do. So the cheese, I am using royal icing that is ivory, and so I used ivory from Americolor to get this. I did the O and the F on my bag so that I would remember, because I didn't use a tip for these. So you can totally do that. Oh, you know what? Let's do the wedge too, because it is the same color as the Swiss cheese. So we'll do these 3 together, and you have like your little piece, and so they just like baked up just like that. So when you're cutting your bag, so let's just kind of go over that. If you use a tipless bag, you can totally do that. But you're going to have your seam all the way to the ceiling. You're going to flatten this out as much as you can, and then you will cut straight across there. That will create a round-like hole for your icing to come out when it is time. So I'm just mashing up this bag here so that we can get it all nice. And let's go ahead and outline our cheese wedge. So we'll try this again. Much better. So we're going to do our little cheese wedge here, or our cheese wheel. I guess this is the wedge, and then this is our wheel here. So you want to come up away from the cookie is the trick, and you're just going to allow that icing to just lay right down where you tell it to go, because you are in charge of that icing. So you're just going to lay it down just like that. We're going to do our Swiss cheese, and I like to start off doing the Swiss cheese of just adding some round cutouts here of different like size holes. It's totally up to you how many. And then I did like little cutouts on the edge on each side. So like right here, it's kind of bare. So that's why I'll put one there. I'll put one here. And so forth. So you can really design it however you want. You don't have to stick to a certain pattern or a certain way, which is really nice. Next, we're going to have for our mild cheddar cheese. I guess it could be sharp cheddar. It would look the same, right? Is I have egg yellow. And again, I'm using a tipless bag. I did that because I'm just using it for small pieces. And I didn't want to use a whole tip and have to clean it and all of that. So this works well. I used egg yellow to color my icing. And it just makes like a really pretty like golden. If it is not orange enough for you, if you're using yellow or like lemon yellow, you can always do a little bit of orange in there to get it to that right color. All right, so let's go ahead and flood our cheese. Oh, and that's just an air bubble there that came out from the bag. But you're going to go around the edge and work your way towards the middle. These also work well, like if you are making these and you have some left over, maybe you're making them because you're going to sell them at like a pre-sale. I made these last year and my daughter loved playing with them. So they became like play food for her. And she would play with them for, gosh, hours. And just like put them in different stacks. And she had the best time with them. She saw them the other day and she said, Mommy, I thought you threw those away. So if you need some play food, you could always just make some cookies, take pictures of them for your website and whatnot, and then your kid can play with them or eat them, either one. So, all right, so we're going to use our egg yellow to do our cheese. Oh, and I just love this color. It's just so, so pretty. You just want to have that nice. So that one's easy because there's no decoration that's going to go on it. That is all that you have to do for the block of cheese there. Slice of cheese, I guess it's really. Okay, so we're going to put those to the side. And I'm going to show you also in this video, I'm going to show you how to how you can style these on either in a tray or on a wooden board. So I thought that would be helpful to show you how to do that. Okay, so let's start off first. We've got our 3 red ones here. These will have a little bit more going on with them than the cheeses. The cheeses are kind of boring. But we'll go ahead and outline our strawberry here, and I'm going to outline the top portion, and I'm just going to do kind of a little wave because we're going to add chocolate to these. You don't have to add chocolate to these. I just thought it would be fun to give them a little chocolate, and then we're going to outline our pepperoni. So you're just going to outline, pull up away from your cookie for your pepperoni. And it doesn't have to be exactly that shape either. Like you can always do it kind of wonky and stuff. And then I'm going to add the little red part for the olive. And if you have a brush, that would be great. If you don't have a brush, you can always use the flat part of like the thingamajiggy or like a knife. And I'm just going to flatten that out and make it a little flattened area for my olive. Okay, and then the cracker, we are going to do the same. Let's see, we did a different color. So this is ivory. It's just a little bit, it actually is ivory. It's just a little bit more ivory color in the icing. So for this one, we're just going to do our little scallops around the edge. And again, it doesn't have to be hard. You know, a lot of times if you're taking something for an event and you're like rushed for time, this is a perfect thing because you can make these cookies pretty quickly. You don't need a lot of extra things. I'm running away from the sun there. Okay, for our olive, we're gonna do a round piece here around that red that we did, and then I'm gonna make the oval, which will be the olive. I don't know what that red is called. I've just seen it. I don't eat olives, so I'm not sure. I just know that that's part of olives. Okay, so with our strawberry and pepperoni, so the strawberry, I'm going to use some non-perils, some white non-perils to add just like a little bit of stuff on the top to them. So I'm going to get my red, and I'm going to flood actually both of those. Go ahead and flood both of those right now. And so I'm just used, to color this, I used Super Red from, actually no, it wasn't Super Red. It was Red from AmeriColor. I am out of my Super Red. I usually use that. It's a pretty staple for Valentine's Day and Christmas, but I ran out of it today, or this week. So I used Red, which I like really well. And I don't have to worry about having too much icing really on it. Okay, so for your strawberry, you're just going to take a few little non-perils and dab the top and drop them in for the top. And then for the pepperoni, I did some little, you want to have like those little spots, you know, pepperonis have like that, like they're bumpy and they're not smooth at all. And so I add just some, trying to add like some texture with like a little bit of wet on wet. And then I added a little bit of white to that as well. You could use the ivory that we use like on the Swiss cheese. I was just trying to use something that was a contrast. That wasn't the same as what I'd already used. So just a little something to give it some texture on that. And then the olive, we will flood our olive here. And I'm using, this color is actually olive green from the Cookie Countess. It's their olive green gel color for royal icing. And it's really, really pretty. So I didn't have to mix it. I mixed it just right out of the bottle. This is the color it came. Normally you'd have to mix it to get that shade of green. And then last but not least is our little cracker here, our seasoned cracker. And I'm just going to go around the edge on all of this one. We're going to add a little bit of texture to it as well. And for it, I am taking some sanding sugar. This is just some Wilton sanding sugar. And then I'm using some Wilton gold sprinkles. So you can use different things. You don't have to use these two, but the sprinkles work really, really well. So I'm just going to grab a few and sprinkle those on top. The gold ones like work really, really well. They just kind of give it that good cracker look. And then the sanding sugar makes it look like salt, because you know, like the crackers have like that salt on the top. So those are the three. Those will be listed also in the descriptions. They are listed there below, so you can see where to grab those. And yeah, let's just finish up. All we need to do is just finish up our strawberry. We're going to add some chocolate to our strawberry because we want to have chocolate covered strawberries, right? And so I am just going to outline this bottom piece in brown. You would normally allow this to dry for about an hour before you add the brown, because you don't want your colors to bleed. But for time's sake, we'll go ahead and do that now. But you're going to have, now you could always add sprinkles to this if you want. That's a really pretty look as well. Or I am going to add some white to it to be, and I just am using my outline icing for that. So they're like chocolate covered strawberries. And then for the leaf, I am using, it doesn't have the number on here, but this is a number 352. It's got the V leaf tip here. And so I'm going to use this to make our leaves on our strawberry. So it's all clogged. All right. So I'm going to add my leaves, and you just kind of do an up and down motion and pull back. It's right like in the sun. And we'll do an up and down motion here and here and here and there. And then when you're done, this is what it will look like. All right, so let's take a look at how you can style these different ways and how you could sell them if you wanted to sell them if you wanted to sell them on your page and sell them for the Super Bowl. There's different ways and different things that you can do. All right, so the first way is you could do a box. Let me put these out of the way here, and we'll slide this up. All right, so I'm going to slide this up so that you can see a little bit better. So I have the 12 by 5 box. I'll have this listed here. This one is from BRP Box Shop. And then I also have the box that is the 12 by 5. So I'm sorry, this one is the 10 by 7. So it's a 10 by 7. So your charcuterie board would totally fit in there just like you would like it, or you could do it the long version and do a 12 by 5. So let's just, I'll show you how it would kind of fit in here. And so you can do an assortment of different ways that you would want to style your cookies. But this just kind of gives you an idea of what you could do. And so just depending on how many you wanted to sell, you could put more or less in there. And so that gives you like one big cookie, and then you have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So you have 13 mini cookies. So you could just take like maybe just take one of them out, and it would be 12 cookies plus the large one. And so you could sell like, you know, a dozen minis or whatever. And then if you do 2 of them, you could just do a bigger box than this, and that would work as well. So lots of different ideas to do for that. If you are hosting it at your house and you're like, hey, I want to host this at my house. I'm hosting the Super Bowl this year. The Olympics are about to start. We are having an Olympic party, whatever it is. You could use a long board like this. This one is a great size. It's not too thick. You can see here, like with my hand, that like it's not super, super large. But you can do the same thing, and this is how you're going to set up your cookies. Different ways that you can set it up and have a lot of fun with it. So you can set it up, oh, let me do it this way, with all of your different goodies that you've got displayed out. And you can add in like all the like little touches. So you can put it there, and people will think, oh my gosh, it's so cute, it's a charcuterie board. Oh my goodness, it's not a charcuterie board. It is a cookie board. And so they can graze on it throughout the night while they're watching the ball game, and come and grab a snack and eat. And so there you go. You have like your cute little board there together, ready for them. So guys, I hope that you enjoyed this class and that you liked it. Hopefully you can see below all of the sourcing of where you can get all of the material, from the board to the boxes to the cutters. You know exactly where to get your things to create this at home and for your friends and family. So this was super, super fun. Again, if you have not already, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel just by hitting the button below, and then you get notified when any of my new videos are released. Thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you next time.